Welcome to the breakdown where we break down all the messed up shit. We are revisiting Shinya Tsukamoto, who you may know created the cyberpunk Tetsuo the Iron Man. Tsukamoto is an inspirational filmmaker with a common theme of depersonalization in a modern technological environment. Today we talk about a short movie called Haze, directed and starring Tsukamoto as a man trapped in a claustrophobic trap with no idea who he is or how he got there. This movie shows closed spaces, so beware if you want to keep watching. That's the highlight of the short film, honestly. Now, this is a short video because I'm working on something really special for this week. Cut the music. This Friday, I'm gonna be doing something completely new. I'll be talking about our first disturbing book. Let me introduce the Disturbing Book series. I think you'll really like this class, read it together, comforting, yet also horrifically disturbing new series I've been working on. So please stay tuned for Friday for a new experience. I think you might like it. So again, let's see exactly what Haze is about. If you want to see what happens, including all the messed up parts, stay tuned for the breakdown. Cue the Gohan. Hey bro, I feel you. Wake up and just get used to my eyes again. That's how it was in class. This guy is stuck. The realization is nightmarish. You know that Junji Ito story? The Enigma of Amigara Fault? Whoever entered the hold made for them would slide in, just like how this character is forcibly slid back into a throne of sorts. This is a live action visualization of what that nightmarish feeling must be. However, he's been stabbed by something as he was sliding. You're fucked. How are you gonna get out of this? And that is the title of the movie, Haze. When he awakens again, he is stuck under something and can't stand upright or move. An environmental struggle that completely erodes your mental state. It's not a dream, no matter how much you toy with your wound to wake yourself up. Funny thing is, he doesn't remember how he got here. He also doesn't remember anything about himself, not even his name. He goes in and out of screaming and calm, screaming back to calm. He can't move upwards. Just the fact that we can move upwards and stand up straight is a gift we take for granted. But he can't slide like a worm further into the unknown. He eventually rests and falls asleep before awaking to find his mouth snapped to this pipe. Whenever he falls asleep, he is moved to another scary position. His hands have to hold on to this barbed wire and his teeth are stuck on this pipe. He doesn't want to lose his teeth or stab his feet, so he painfully glides his teeth across the pipe and his hands across the barbed wire to try and escape. However, he gets far enough to realize that this pipe has no opening for him to get around. It's implemented directly into the wall, and he screams in despair. Still, he hasn't given up and slides the way he came. On the left side, there's an opening for him to slide his mouth out of, and finally, he gets himself free. And that mechanism is controlling something that continuously hits the man in the head like a Tom and Jerry cartoon scene. Randomly, he glides his hand behind him, noticing an opening for him to crawl in, and escapes the cartoon hammer. Another positioning nightmare, having to crawl backwards, head stuck downward with no ability to see your surroundings. When you can't see where you're going, you won't see the impending hole that he falls through, finding himself stuck between two sharp protrusions stuck in the ground. He was lucky not to impale himself directly. Even though he has little space to reposition himself, he fights to drag himself from out of the blades and manages to see into a hole where three men are going nuts, taking their shirts off and scratching at their skin like they've seen a god ready to strike them down. Whatever happens to them is uncertain, but it kills each man quickly and bloody. It's kind of like in Bloodborne when you get frenzy from looking at an enemy too long and you just die. What is clear here is that this huge contraption that the main character is in is like some huge torture trap. Remember in Hostel, when Paxton saw what was going on in the various rooms? This character sees something similar when some lady is about to get turned into dog food along with those various limbs. The character wonders if war has broken out. Have I been taken prisoner? This sounds like some weird Bible story that has been reinterpreted 1,000 times. Has some cult brainwashed me, he says. The first thing you think is that you were a previous member of a cult. If I were in this position, I'd almost imagine this is divine punishment. He starts falling asleep again, seeing the views of water and catfish. I don't know how much time has passed, but I'm surprised you haven't passed out or died yet after losing all that blood. He's finding various pathways, no longer freaked out by just being closed in, but the dead bodies all around him with their cannibal Holocaust level gore is quite upsetting until he sees one hand move. I don't think this is the same lady who was screaming her lungs out earlier. The man asks her, does she know why the hell we are both here? She also has the same abdomen injury as him. She says that this will be their last resting place if we don't get out of here. She actually says that she will get out, the way we came in. I wonder why these bodies are so skinned, but they're fine. That opening right there seems to lead to the entrance. The bodies are there after dying somewhere in the death trap and are being brought here to this room that they are both in. He seems prone to falling asleep, which she calls letting go. They speak, aiming to recover both their memories. First, it was let's escape. Now it's let's go to sleep. For some reason, he doesn't want to crawl with her and find a way out. He just says, let's lay here and die. However, he does say that she won't be able to get out that way. Thanks for saying that right as she's going out that way, surrounded by bloody corpses and water filled with body parts and blood. Oh, so that's how you look right side up. As they crawl through the bloody, gory water, he hears a noise like a growl. Soon, it becomes clear that they have to start diving into the water, and the approaching growls scare the man, saying, let's go back. Go back and die? I'd rather die getting out. She is starting to remember what happened and how she got here. It's not a war that he thinks, so she thinks that she was kidnapped and placed here. But I'm thinking that these two might be related. In fact, it's more seeming like they put their own damn selves here. They both dive, and she completely leaves him in the dust. Somehow, she manages to climb her way all the way up there. He struggles to force his way up, hitting his head on the top, revealing the exit. He completely forces it open, and we see outside. Hey, this is like your house. Why you got claustrophobic nightmares next to your bed? I'm talking about you watching. This your house. The water is rising, helping him push open the trap, and now he is free, hyperventilating and realizing his escape. She seems to be dying, blood pooling all around her. So this is where the movie completely loses any semblance of obviousness, but turns out the man and woman seem to be in a relationship. Entanglement. Someone imprisoned her in the house. And if I had to guess, I'd say it was Tsukamoto himself. So back to the present, the man tries calling emergency services before it cuts to black. But I guess she dies. Or maybe not, because years have passed now. The man is older, old ass man. How you age that quick? He goes outside, imagining times of disbelief and confusion. The movie ends as we just see them sitting on the couch watching Stranger Things season 4. If you're confused, don't feel bad. Me too. Let's just talk about the most disturbed moment and most enjoyable moment in Haze. Now, I see a lot of reviewers compare Haze and its ideas of the loss of self and alienation to the works of Franz Kafka, specifically the short story In the Penal Colony. In the Penal Colony involves a machine used to torture guilty people over a period of 12 hours. Franz Kafka also talks about how the modern world contributes to a loss of what it means to be yourself. Distracted by the ideas of others, we conform and we fail to actually become our own individual, which Kafka says is our greatest imperative. We see that quite literally in many of Tsukamoto's films. Iron Man, the character quite literally loses himself to become this modern wonder. I also thought it was interesting how the exit of the claustrophobic nightmare was a bedroom. I personally would believe that this is the man's bedroom, almost like he put himself in this torture machine, which goes back to the self-alienation and self-punishment, along with the actual nightmare that our own mind is the prison we keep ourselves in. Most disturbed moment is visually him getting out of the teeth trap, plus all the sounds really made me feel uncomfortable. Most enjoyed moment is that the film was well made. I'm sure the mechanism they were trapped in was probably not as scary or as big as the film made it look. They did great with what they had for this short little movie, even if I don't understand it. And that's about it. Here are the 2 Tetsuo movies, also made by Tsukamoto. I always like them for how weird they are. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more messed up stuff. Thanks for watching. Spooky out.